Good morning, welcome back to another episode of Loft Conversion, episode 9. So, little secret, I'm filming this again because the scaffolder's here today and it's a bit more interesting. So yeah, but don't tell anybody. So, all we've got today, just mentioned scaffolders here, which is good. So this is the last time we'll see this elevation as it is, before the scaffold goes up and before we start changing the whole rear of this property. And then what we're going to go through today is we're going to have a look at bolting the steels down that we're using for the ridge beam to put the ridge posts on, but get the mag drill out and bolt them down. And then we will start bolting the triple beam or triple timber that we've got for the stairwell to put all that in. And then I'm going to go through how I'm going to finish these rear floor joists off, and then how I'm going to build the doormat, leaving that roof on to keep the weather out, the lovely British weather we've got. So I'll go through that, bit of a whiteboard, go through it all, and then we'll have a look at that. Let's go inside then, get out of Scott's way, and I'll have a look what we're doing today. This is the triple beam I was just talking about, the one that goes down the side of the stairwell. And then I'm going to be using these 100mm M10 turbo coach screws, brilliant. And then my turbo impact wrench as well, rattle those in. And if I jump up, and what Adam's going to do, because Adam's back on the job today, he's going to mag drill some holes into there, obviously turn it over, mag drill the holes, and then he'll drop it back on top of them. Use the hole he's just done to mark this steel under there, and then he'll mag drill this steel then in situ. But what we are going to do, we're just going to 100mm coach screw then down into here, into the timber. That's what we're going to do to hold that, 'cause that's all it's for, is to hold it, because we've obviously got timber both sides. That's what we're going to do. It is literally to stop any of this. Don't forget that we got a wall on top of this. It's all encapsulated with the flooring. All the flooring's wrapped around the back, so it can't go anywhere. It's going to be bolted, a post can be bolted up to the ridge one, so it can't go anywhere. This is just belts and braces really. So we'll put a couple of bolts either side, or one bolt either side, and we'll bolt that down, probably using the same coach screws. I've got some 70mm ones or some 50mm ones, so I'll use those. That's what we're going to do. Get a little bit of footage of us doing that, and then I'll show you what we're going to do with regards to setting all these floor joists out. And like I say, I'm hoping that when I put it on, that the floor joist sort of sits, I can find where my fingers so I can show you, sort of about there, which is just below the wall plate, which is where I think they're going to be sitting, but we will wait and see. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to pilot hole it first. When you're pilot holing, you make sure that whatever you're putting, you're using, which in this case is this, you get your drill bit, and if you get your drill bit next to it like that, you want this bit to be the same size as the shank, which is this part, which is just the metal part without the thread. So when you put it up against it, you can see the threads either side still. That's what you will need to achieve. Yes, this thing would rattle these in without a pilot hole, but just makes it a bit better. In fact, there'll be a video on the channel soon about pilot holing. I thought I'd just do one based on talking about the floor screw, so I'll explain that a little bit more. So why don't you head on over and have a look at it. So make sure you get those in nice and tight, 'cause that's where the stairs are going. In terms of where to put your bolts, it never says it on the structural engineer's drawing that I've ever seen. I've had two conversations with separate structural engineers over the years, and they both said differently. One of them said your bolts should all be in line, which I don't believe doesn't work in my head, because if you put your bolts all in the same line, you're putting it all on the same grain, so therefore it's got more chance of splitting, or the stress. If there's any stress on the timber then of weight, it can crack along the same line. So what I tend to do is work on whatever the weight. I mean, I've gone 400, 500 centimetres, so it's not that crucial. But I normally come in 100 mil from the ends of the timbers. I normally come down 50 for your first one, and then come up 50, down 50, up 50. When I say up and down 50, I mean 50 mil from the bottom of the timber. That's what I do. Like I've sort of done there, which you might not see on camera. I'll do there, up and down, up and down, up and down, all the way across. That's what I do anyway. But what I will do is, once I've done this, because it's a triple, I'll go to the other side and then just put one in the centre at the ends, and maybe one in the centre in the middle, and I've still got it from both sides then. So that's what I'm going to do.
We're rolling.
We are, man.
We're rolling. Okay. Right then, what we're trying to achieve here is to secure this steel to the two steels either side. A bit of a goal posting, if you like. But what we don't want to do, what's really unnecessary, is bolt it down. We're not trying to all bolt it together there for all strength and everything. We just need it just to basically stay still. So I've marked it all out. I've worked out where the timber is in the webbing of the steel underneath. And then what I'm going to do is drill a hole through this steel here, which will then enable us to put a coach bolt, albeit with a washer, straight through into the steel. Obviously I'm doing this from the top, and then what I'm going to do is flip it over and then mark the steel down, the bottom steel, drill that through, and then screw it all together. It will all make sense as I'm doing it. I've already done that one, as you can see over there, so I'm doing it opposite ends to each other. I'm only putting one each end. And then
Opposite sides?
Opposite sides, yeah. And then I'll flip that over, mark that hole onto that steel, and then drill that hole, and then just screw it together, and it'll all be in place then. And then that will mean that we are ready for, well, once the ridge beams are in place, we'll be ready for steels 14 and 15, which is nice. So yeah.
They haven't been as painful as we all thought, though, have they?
No,
because they are 6x6s and they're in pieces, so it's been relatively easy to get them in the hole.
It's been alright, and then if you look at it from here, it does all make sense.
Yeah,
I get it.
It does all make sense, yeah.
When you look around, at it, and it's 15
all the steels under there.
It's 15
3 each side,
to do the job that the roof is already doing, and there's none up here at all, and it hasn't moved. But there we go. Anyway, we're past that now. We're not going to mention it again.
Let's not. We've upset ourselves. We've cried ourselves to sleep about it.
Absolutely, yeah. And the lumber region will one day.
I'd love to say we've had a whinge about it over the table in the pub, but we haven't.
We haven't. No.
We ain't been out.
No, we haven't.
Rock and roll, we are. Come to work, go home and go to sleep. Come to work.
Yeah. And repeat. Right, and so
this is what he's using, by the way. Evolution mag drill, and you've had this for how long now?
Oh man, I've had it for a couple of years. It's done every job. It's done loads of work on every job. Basically,
so you'd recommend it then?
Oh man, yeah, it's ace. It really is, for like an entry level tool. You know what I mean? I think it was. They've gone up a bit now. I think they're more. I think about maybe 250 quid now or something. But it's invaluable, because you haven't got to. If we wanted the factory to do this, it's sleepless nights, man. It's all got to be perfect. And if it's not perfect when it's here, you're in trouble. Whereas having this with you, you know, don't ask the factory to do it. It's all here. And then you can all do it on site and get it all exactly how you want it. So it is a great tool to have. A must is the cutting oil.
So you use that cutting oil, don't you?
Yeah. I'll show you how quick it goes through.
Yeah, and so we'll leave it on. This is real time. This is how quick it goes through, and this is what's that? At a 6mm?
No, that is. I think that's a 15.
No, I mean, sorry, I think thickness of the web. It's about 6mm plating. It's about 6mm thick.
Yeah,
This is, like I just said, that is important though, because that bit can get hot and it then blunts the bit and it's just rubbish. So.
Again, the bits are from Amazon.
Special bits in there.
What's the make of them? Yeah.
You can get different sizes, can't you, Ed?
Yeah, I've got. We had to put on the previous job. Well, no, a few jobs ago last year in Worcester, before we started the YouTube thing. We had to put these steels in, and waste pipes had to go through them. There was no other way of doing it. All existing waste pipes. So I think this might be the biggest one they do. It was a 35mm, and it went in. In fact, I'll
to go through steel.
We'll put the picture up on it.
Yeah, we'll have a look
from it. Yeah, or water pipes. It might be water pipes, not waste pipes actually. But,
it was the 22mm, wasn't it, for the central heating?
That's right. Yeah, Evolution again, but they're only from Amazon, and they're, I think that's a big one, obviously, but that might have been 20-something quid or something. The rest of
and how many uses do you reckon you get it? And if you use your cutting oil and use them properly?
That's the same one I bought originally.
That one in there's the one, the same one?
Yeah.
Blimey.
I have got another one because I bought two just in case, but as you can see, I haven't opened it. It's it's the same. It's the same.
There we go then.
It's brilliant. It's really good.
So we'll.
The only issue we might have here, there's a bit of a camber to this steel.
Oh, I see.
And if it's not 100% flat,
you can pop the magnet.
The magnet might not.
Because if you don't know the theory behind mag drill, mag obviously stands for magnetic, and as soon as you turn the power on, that big plate on the bottom there magnetises to what you're sticking it to, because it's for steel. So it just means you can do it. You haven't got to do it like you can do it upside down. You can do it horizontally, which we have done, haven't we? And it works perfect. Yeah. All you do is just keep an eye on it, and you just make sure it's sitting nice and flat, and there's no bits of compo or anything like that on it, and it works perfect, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
So there we go then.
It's nice.
Let's have a look at this going through. And so on the camera, that is 30 seconds.
Turn the magnet.
Start to finish.
You get a nice clean hole there.
Isn't that a whole lot of wonderful?
All done. But if you do this, just remember that oil.
Do.
If you
do the stink bird? Or?
You don't have to, but if you want to do it,
yeah.
You can just remember that oil stays wet. So when you come back in a few weeks' time and you've had a lot of rain and you see that, don't soil your pants. It's just the oil. I've done that a few times. Oh no, we've got a big leak. Oh man.
Oh, because it stays wet. It looks wet on top of the steel.
It sends a shiver down your spine. But there we go.
So there we have it. That's what we're going to do. We'll show you us bolting them in, turning them over. We've got a lovely special little pen that we like to use, haven't we, for that?
Oh, yeah. Right, and what we were talking about is using one of them marksmen. Just, if you haven't seen these, it just depresses in and it leaves a green dot. I mean, they're ace, man, for things like this. But that one, I've just noticed, has run out. I've had it in my pocket for God knows how long. So, we're down to the Milwaukee paint pen. Let's make sure we're loaded, and then we can just. That's as good as anything.
There we are, white dot on the steel. Beautiful.
We'll do that either side. Get the steel out of the way, re-drill, screw them through, and then that will be that.
That's it then. So the steels are in now, and as you can see, we've just had our delivery of insulation. So we got a couple of stacks either side, 25mm, all specified on the drawing. So before we get any comments, that's what we've been told we've got to put in. So I know I've done 50mm in the past, but maybe because this is a loft I want 25, knowing that it's going to get really, really hot, so you don't need so much. I don't know, but anyway, I digress. 100mm going inside there now, and then 25 all over the top. That's all over every wall, apart from that one, which is going to be a different spec. I think that's 200mm rock wall, something else, because it's got vapor barrier on, blah blah blah. So that's what we're going to do, that side and that side. And then I want to mention all that happening is then is on the top of that, that will just be double boarded because that's a party wall. That's a gable end wall. So yeah, that's it then. And then since we spoke, I have, let me just get down without falling, I've exposed all across the top here now. That's all exposed now. And then what I did was, got my laser, so if I just, and am I going to mention my laser, I'm only going to mention my laser once more on this channel, but that has been brilliant. I can't recommend it enough. If you're after laser, I can't recommend it enough. That is a Hoopar, and I don't know what model number it is, but I bought this as well, which allows you to, that does micro that way, depending which laser you're using, you know, which 360, whichever you're going to use. That one does micro backwards and forwards if you're using this one. This one micro up and down. And then I bought this kit, this tripod, which you can actually do it without the this tripod if you wanted to. You just get this, and it just pushes up there. You can, and then lock it off, and you can clamp it to the floor and the ceiling as well. And then this thing, I'm not going to move it because I've got it set. You just undo that lever, and that whole contraption moves up and down to suit. So, right, that's the last time I want to mention it on the channel, because I've had comments on it, but I'm not going to mention it anymore now because people think I'm getting boring, if you aren't already. So all I've done then is, as you can see, I actually think because we've been stamping around, I've moved that, I think. So if I just get that a little bit, that's it, and then lock it off. Right, that's locked off. So you can just about see that the laser, or you can, it's just clipping the end of my rafters there now. Just clipping it. Can you see it? Yeah, let me just turn these lights off, in fact. There we are. So you can just about see there, it's clipping the end of there, look. All the way along, just clipping it. So what I've done then is, what we've decided to do is, because we have to keep in mind all the time Great British beautiful weather, even though 10 days, oh hello Ad, hello. We've just looked at the weather forecast, the next 10 days and it's just showing sunshine. You can guarantee that, can you? So what we decided to do is, I don't know if I mentioned it already, we are going to do a couple of things. First one is, now I know that's the bottom of my floor joist, I'm going to cut 200mm out in between each of these rafters. 200mm, 210mm, because that is bottom of rafter and I need my support back in. We're then going to get some more plates like that one under the steel there, that one, which if you remember was a 25mm by 100mm plate. We're going to get some 20mm ones by 100 and then compo them on in between. Let me just come out a little bit. We're going to compo it on then in between each set of rafters. Bear in mind these are 16-inch centres, so that's only 400mm in new money, 410, 408, right? And then set the top of the steel, will go on that line there, all the way along. So we can put those in before we even take the roof off. Right then, you've just seen me walk round, tell what we've done so far, and I've talked about what I'm going to do up there. Now what I'm going to show you is how I'm going to construct the dormer, and how we're going to do it in such a way that I can leave that existing roof, leave that on. See what I do, I've got a whiteboard and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'll do it all now and go through all of it. So if you are interested, you might stop with us and watch future videos with us. Who knows if you're that interested. Right then, next footage, get my whiteboard out and I'll show you exactly what we're going to do. Right, good morning. We're going to go through what I just talked about in the previous footage, just with regards to how I'm going to set out this dormer on the stall riser so I can leave this roof on. So I'm going to do a very crude, but I'd like to say effective drawing on the whiteboard. So first of all then, this is our existing rafters and this is in plan view. So I'm going to try my best to try and denote it as much as I can. So underneath that then, we've got your wall plate coming all the way through. That's your wall plate. And then what I've done is, as you've already seen the footage inside, I've put we've cut these out like that, in between there, and then we've got we're going to put these plates on, which are going to go like that. These metal plates that I've talked about. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put we will put the floor joists on from the loft. So they'll go, again looking from plan view, and I'll sit on there like that. That's what we'll do. That's the first thing we've got to do. And then what we've got to do is, when we've done that, is we can, in fact I can leave it on, can't I? Let's have a look. Then what I want to do is vertically, so sticking up in the air, then I'll put a piece of timber then down the side of there, like that, down the side of all these floor joists, like that, on top of the metal plate, and it'll stick up in the air. And I'll also put one here and against all these all the way along like that. These will get bolted down through with a bracket into the wall plate, and then the bracket will then get fixed to the side of the existing rafter. Because when we put the dormer on, we're going to have to cut all these rafters off like that at the back of that timber, because that's going to be our wall. So if I quickly show you in this view now, that's what you're going to have, is that's our existing rafter like that. We're going to have the plate sitting about there like that. We're going to have the floor joist sitting like that, but it's sort of going to be behind the rafter. And then I'll have a timber then bolted off the plate to the side of that like that, or higher, sorry, be about there, be higher. And then to top that off all the way across, I'll put a timber on like that, but that'll go all the way across like that, thus leaving the roof on. The tiles can stop on there like that, and then I can put the when I build the walls inside, I can just put them on the top like that, and then we can put the roof on, and then that's it done. I hope it's clear as mud, I suppose. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments, but it will become clear as soon as I start doing it, honestly, I promise you. But that is only way I can do to leave the roof on. Like this week was meant to be sunny all week, and now it's a bit raining today, and it's only the second day into the week. So this is why we have to do these things, and I've done it a few times. Inspectors like it because it means it's been bolted a few times, and also it gives us the scope to keep the water out the property. So there we go. I hope that's clear for you. Right, back in the property now, and the members of you that are watching this channel will may be aware that I've tried to sneak in the fact that I'm doing this all arse about face. So I just mentioned about the fact that I'm refilmed the start of the episode again. So as you can see behind me now, I've actually put some of those floor joists in that I've talked about. What I will do is I'll just show you now exactly what I meant. We've actually just stripped everything out because we only had half a day yesterday. This is why it's only a little bit done, because we're at Harborne. If you've watched the Harborne series, putting the taps in because the quartz has come now. There was a little bit of panel needed cutting out for the hob to sit flat, so that's all done. And we did a bit of finishing off. We're going back there today to do the patio. So yep, scaffolders outside doing that. So all I've done is I've set with the laser, as I've already showed you. I've set this one now. I've cut out these 200mm. This one I've just sat on there and notched over a little bit, just so I can catch my plasterboard, because that is within the space where, let me just pan back, where we're only going to come to there with our double. That little timber there, it says temp, will come out, and that's where one of my rafters will go in there to double up to take the cheek of my dormer. I'm actually going to triple it because we're using 6x2, so I'll triple that, but I'll put one this side as well. What I've done then is I've set my centres, tried to stick to the centre of all of these, and then trying to maintain 400, which is there or thereabouts. The widest one's 415 so far. Nailed these in, I'll put one screw in because I was on my own, and then nailed them into the laser and sat it on a couple of packers there, because all I have to do is, you can see I did do that one and then stopped. Oh, nearly fell off the chipboard then. A bit of compo, not the compo, off the top of that top brick, which I'm going to have to do on all these, and then we've got to pack those plates that I talked about. So that's what we'll do all the way across to the end there. And what I have done is just to satisfy any problems that won't occur, but just to satisfy me so I can sleep, I'll put these twist straps in as well, all the way along, fixed to one of the rafters, fixed, so if we do get any movement, which we won't, I'm perfectly happy that we won't get any movement. I've also put a timber screwed onto there, screwed onto the floor joist there as well, just to stop any movement, which We won't. I know we won't. But anyway, it's just me, unfortunately. That's why I am. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to come back. It's Friday today, so we'll go away now, sort Harborne out, all the patios I've just said. And then next week, when we get the plates, we're going to do a few things next week because the weather's nice. We are going to strip off that rear roof, set out for the Veluxes while we're at it, and refelt it with breathable felt. So we're going to do that, and then we'll probably jump back on these again, and then start setting out that stall riser I talked about. As always, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget that like button. We appreciate it. It's just all the effort Adam and I make putting the videos together. All the lads that get involved in it when they're here, Mick and Mark and Brandon, that get fully involved and play their little part, if you like, even though they haven't got to. They just get involved. So yeah, hit that like button for us. It just gives us that fuzzy warm feeling when people like what we've done. And also the notification bell ready for the next episode.